Hello, everybody. Before this episode of the Birdcast begins, I would just like to say a few quick things. One, the Birdcast got a completely new revamp, new logo, new intro song, and a new format. So, with that, I've been combining questions and trying to make new segments so that way every podcast kind of feels like its own brand new episode. Because last year they were kind of getting the same repetitive vibe. So I really want to change this year up so that way you guys are interested in every single episode and person. With that, today, some segments and questions were a little choppy because I was trying to figure it out. But obviously, it's getting towards October, and I really wanted to get a birdcast out. So this is kind of a trial run to season two, but no better way to start it than with Easton St. Clair. Basically, we grew up in like the same high school environment, which was super awesome. So you'll notice me asking him a lot of questions about high school, and I think you guys will be really interested. That is also another thing I need to cut down on is me talking as much. I just get excited. I love interviewing people. Obviously, that's why I do it. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Another thing, real quick, is I would like to thank Heart of Ohio Sports. They are a media company based here in Tiffin. They provide live video streaming of high school and college sports surrounding the area. They were able to provide Easton's highlights for today's show, and they'll be providing, highlights throughout the rest of the year. So yeah, check out heartofohiosports.com for more information. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the Birdcast. I'm your host, Brett Reed, and on this podcast series, we deep dive into the life of Division III athletes here at Heidelberg University. If you would like to see an athlete, comment down below. Today, I have the opportunity to interview Easton St. Clair. Born and raised in Canton, Michigan, Easton attended Detroit Catholic Central. While in high school, he earned first team All-State, first team All-Conference, and was a team captain. While at the Berg, Easton has achieved second team All-OAC, appeared in all games as a freshman, sophomore, and now a junior. He has tallied up 4 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, 56 tackles, and is arguably one of the best players to watch come game day. Easton, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
Dude, no problem. This is a long overdue podcast. I wanted to have you last year, but it was kind of weird. But you're the first defensive player on the show.
Well, I feel so very honored for that. That's a cool little fact.
I've had only wide receivers, and I've had only wide receivers. Oh, and Drew. So you're the first defensive player that I've had on the show, which is weird because like when I think of like a player to like interview, like you're like, oh, I gotta get to like the special players, But like once I got to college, the most fun people to watch were like you, Trey.
Yeah, well, I mean, the offense really gets a lot of the credit, and they're good. They're great. But the defense is really slept on, so it's cool to be able to represent us. And Trey's a great player, Joe Norris, Keyshawn Cunningham, Keyshawn Plata. So, there's a lot of great players on the defense. So
it's fun. It's fun watching, like, college defense. Like, my high school, very small. Defense wasn't that good. I'm not gonna lie, but like once you get to college, like your guys' defense is like insane. Like it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's something very special. Definitely.
So we'll get into that question later, like how you got into it to be like a defensive player. But for now, I'll start with the first question. Is you're from Detroit, Canton, Michigan, and you went to a Catholic high school. I mean, I went to a Catholic high school. So what was life? What was life like growing up in Canton, Michigan, and what was high school like?
So I went to Catholic school my whole life, so I've always been used to that and accustomed to that. Canton, Michigan is a great place, very nice area, and high school it was very interesting. So like I went to an all boys Catholic school.
Oh really?
Yeah. So there's no girls or anything like that. So it was a very shock from middle school to high school, and you just kind of have to. It's a very like relaxed because it's all boys, so you're not really trying to impress anybody, and it's a cool atmosphere. And they preach brotherhood there,
right?
And that's one thing I kept with me. Now
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a college preparatory school, so it was very challenging, but I think it prepared me well for Heidelberg and college and.
So how big was your class? Like how big was your class size, and then how big was your school?
I think we had like. School-wise, like 1,000 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I can't believe,
like, for a Catholic, was it public or private?
Private.
It was a private Catholic school, and you guys had 1,000 people in your school.
Yeah, so.
So you guys must have been like a were you guys just like very popular, like sports wise, like
Yeah, sports wise is the main
education-wise?
attraction, and education wise, they're top tier in both. So football, they have like 12 state championships. Wrestling, hockey, they're all very competitive in every sport aspect.
That's crazy.
And like I said, it's a college prep school, so everybody goes there for the academics as well. So yeah, I mean, we're Division I, so we're part of that big school group, and it was a cool experience.
So, I guess that's a later question. So I guess I'll save it. It's hard to not like just jump right into like the good stuff. But so Canton, Michigan, like all right, if your hand is Michigan, like where are we at? Like where are we
All
talking?
right, so we're talking. Oh, it's kind of awkward, but we're talking like here-ish.
Okay, so like in the middle,
towards the middle-ish,
okay.
And then Detroit's over here.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, down here really, but.
So, what got you into football? I guess is my next question that I can just jump into.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing football in the 2nd grade.
Okay.
My name is Easton. My name is Rawling, so I was kind of meant to play sports.
Okay.
My family, my little fun fact, but my family loves sports, so it was always kind of one thing I was born into, I guess. So 2nd grade, started playing football, fell in love with it, and like all my brothers played football. Everybody in my family played football for the most part, so it was just one of those things where.
Did you have I guess like per se, did you have a dad pusher, like your dad was very like, hey, you should play football, you should?
It was actually my mom.
Really?
Mom, yeah, surprisingly, my mom is the big pusher for athletics in our family, and my dad obviously supports everything we do, and they're very supportive, so I'm very grateful for them. But yeah, my mom's really you're gonna play football, and then if not, then we'll have another discussion about that.
Right. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got 2 younger brothers and then 2 older brothers.
And then did they all go to the same high school as you?
My oldest brother is my stepbrother. He did not, but everybody else went to Catholic Central.
And they all play football?
So my older brother did, my youngest brother did, and my other younger brother, he played lacrosse.
Okay, gotcha. So, oh wow, you guys have lacrosse at your school too.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting when I have people like Easton on the show that have went to like a private school, because like I can relate to that because I went to Sandusky St. Mary Central Catholic. Okay. So it's cool seeing like a perspective from like a small Catholic private school to like a big like you guys have lacrosse, and you guys have like, I'm sure you guys had all the sports.
Swim and dive. Yep. We had rugby now.
So we didn't have, it was very limited. So like that's why like our football team, like now we're 8-man football instead of like really? So yeah, it's a 12-man football, which is crazy. Or yeah, is that right? 12? Why did I like mess up?
But yeah,
I would know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're 8-man. And it's like it's kind of like dying down, but good to see that your guys' school is still. I'm sure it's still running smoothly.
Yeah, big game actually today against our rival school.
Okay, gotcha.
So
did you guys ever travel to Ohio for football games?
Yes, we actually played Toledo Central Catholic.
Okay.
Toledo Whitmer, and St. Ignatius.
Okay. Oh yeah, St. Ignatius. Yeah, we raced against them a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we travel a little bit for football.
All right, awesome. And then so that brings me to my next question. So, how do you find Heidelberg? Was it academics? Was it sports? Like what? How did you find the Berg?
It was really through sports. So I had this organization in Michigan called Legacy Sports, and they do like 7-on-7s. They have an all-star game, and I met actually Coach Denny, who was a coach here at Heidelberg, through that.
Okay.
And that really introduced me to Heidelberg itself, because I really never heard of it being from Michigan. I had no idea what Tiffin, Ohio was or Heidelberg was. So it was my foot in the door.
Nice. And I guess I skipped over a question. In high school, what was high school football like for you? Did you start as a freshman? Did you start as a sophomore? Like, how did you and then you can talk about like how did you get into defensive?
So my school was actually very strict in its tradition. It's loosening up now, but freshmen played freshman football, and then if you were a sophomore and you're like really good, you got moved up to varsity. But I played freshman football. Started off as a running back and and strong safety.
Interesting.
Yeah, we didn't really pass a lot at the time. And then sophomore year, I got moved up to playoffs. That's when I switched to receiver, and then I still played strong safety on defense. And then my junior year is when I first started a game.
Okay.
That's when I started getting more varsity playing time and stuff like that. And that's when I focused more on outside linebacker.
Gotcha.
So I play the same position I did then that I do now. So that really helped me. And then I also played receiver as well.
Wow.
As a junior. And then senior year, I played both ways as a tight end and outside linebacker.
So you've been like part of both
spectrums, I guess.
Yeah, I played both
Offense and
ways, but my true passion and love was at defense.
So when you came to Heidelberg for football, did you stick with they were like, you have to be this position, or were you like, I'm going to come here for defense?
Nah, I came here for defense. They recruited me for defense, but I'm trying to get on the offensive side a little bit. I've been trying to poke the coaches. Let me get a rep on receiver, but defense is fun. I like to. Because on defense, you're not supposed to win. You're not supposed to. The offense knows what they're doing, and they got to execute that. So it's our job to stop that.
Right.
So when we stop you, we're physically beating you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I think of it. And that's what draws me to defense.
So would you consider yourself a ball hawk, like a guy who's like trying to get interceptions, or would you consider yourself like a guy who obviously most people on campus know you as like the guy who gets interceptions, but how would you describe your skill set? Would you say you'd rather get an interception, or you'd rather hit someone super hard?
Well, people like to say I'm an honorary DB. So because I played safety as well, so I like being a ball hawk, but I also like tackling. If I'm in the area, I want to make the play.
Right.
So that's kind of what I go for. So, but the ball hawk. I would say ball hawk.
Okay, so then that will bring us to our first mini game. All right, so I don't know if you guys have seen it, but GQ does this thing where they take a professional football player and they're like, how did you spend your first $1 million? So we're gonna assume that Easton got drafted by an NFL football team, and that there's a big table right here, and Easton has has $1 million. So I'm gonna calculate it up, and we're just gonna see how Easton would spend his first $1 million. All right, so first thing, what would you take with that check?
First thing, I gotta support my parents because they gave me a lot. So I definitely gotta. If they want willing to move to a bigger house, I'll buy them a bigger house for sure. And then, so I don't know how much.
We'll just assume that there's no price. We'll just say, all right, we'll just go with a few things.
Okay.
So a house.
A house, definitely.
Definitely
a house for my parents. Definitely got to move out of my parents' house, though, so I definitely need a house for myself.
Two separate houses.
Yeah, 2 separate houses. I'm a big sneakerhead shoe guy, so I definitely like some shoes. What else? I'm also into clothes and fashion, so kind of up my closet a little bit. Nothing crazy, Shein. They maybe can raise my standards a little bit, but and then support my brothers.
Okay.
Maybe get my younger brother wants a Jeep, so maybe surprise him with that for a birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm kind of simple. I don't like a whole lot of jewelry or anything like that, but shoes. A lot of my money would go to shoes. I'm not gonna lie.
If you had to make a very expensive buy, a very expensive thing, where would you spend most of your money? Like a car? Would you spend?
A car. I would say.
If you're I got the bag, I got the check, I have everything I need. Now what am I gonna get? What? Are you gonna go for a nice car or what's
I'll go for a nice car. I actually valeted out in Birmingham, so I got to drive nice cars.
Oh, nice.
Those Rolls Royce, those hit different. I'm not gonna lie. The Phantom, they might have to splurge a little bit on the car, but yeah.
All right, well, there's Easton. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. There is Easton's stuff that he would buy with his first $1 million in the NFL. So thank you for that. I try to buy fake money to make that a little bit more fun, but I guess they don't sell that anymore for some reason. As a kid, I always played with fake money.
Yeah,
and stuff,
Monopoly money.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even find that. So that's fun. That's a fun segment. Now I guess we'll move on to another serious question, and then we'll go into some more games. So what motivates you, not only for football, but what motivates you in life to do good in football, do good in school?
That's a great question, actually. I would say my parents. They're my big motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I like to, because obviously I don't want to disappoint them. So that's kind of my driving force right now. And I mean, I've always played football. I've just always wanted to succeed at being the best at that. So that's really my parents are definitely my main motivation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the same Catholic whatever private school thing, but one thing is I agree with you. If I'm running cross country, I want to do it for my parents, make them proud, and then I want to be the best
for myself.
The best as I can be on the team. So that's kind of crazy that I got a perspective from that. So we both have the same mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good, and I love that answer. So now Easton and I will move on to the sponsored portion of the show.
Hey.
Yeah, I did say sponsored. So this year, new sponsor, Freeze Dried Ohio. They're a new up-and-coming candy shop here in Tiffin, Ohio. You can currently find their items in current locations, including Jolly's, The Renaissance. You know who's going there. Laird Arcade Brewery, Jam's Monthly Market, Molliette's, Cooney's Market, Elmore General Store, and actually the Tiffin Farmers Market. So if you guys are ever in the Tiffin Farmers Market, you can find Freeze Dried Ohio. So check out their link in the below, and I'll put it somewhere on the screen. So this is what me and Easton will be trying today. I gave him some options. So we're gonna try some freeze-dried pineapple. It's not only candy. I should also make that clear. It's not just candy. They just experiment all the time. So we have some pineapple, some peaches, and then orange creamsicle bites, and then they said this is one of the best ones, the Skittle Puffs. So we're gonna try these today. We won't rank them, but we'll just see what they taste like. 'Cause I've never had freeze-dried candy before. It's like astronaut food.
I've had apples. That's the only thing I had.
Okay,
so I'm interested to see.
We can crack them open. You can crack those ones open, and we'll get a little taste and see how they. Yeah. Oh. All right, there. Got it. Yeah, I'm very interested to see like if this tastes like. I've had a freeze-dried like ice cream sandwich before.
How was that?
It was not bad. I mean, it was just. Let's see. Whoa.
That's pretty good, actually.
Try those ones.
Give you the peach.
Those ones are like very sour. They're very good. I mean, it's like a pineapple.
Yeah, peaches and pineapple are top tier. So.
Top tier fruit.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Wow, that's so good. It's like, it's so weird because it doesn't really taste like candy, but it kind of does.
Yeah, when you're also expecting like the juice of it, and like you just don't get that. That's really interesting.
I mean, like it's good. Like I'm
no,
not,
agree.
Like,
I agree. It is very
like,
good. I'm excited about those creamsicles.
All right, so now that I'm not expecting like a juiciness, like it's weird that like. All right, let's see what these creamsicle bites taste like. I know Brandon Reed is watching this right now, crying.
I was gonna say if you had me
eat a Carolina Reaper.
If I had to do that, I don't know how it does. Oh wow.
Man, these might be the best ones.
I'm excited about those. These are weird, in a good way though, because they're not chewy.
So this is a Skittle.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, it tastes like. All right. For me to describe this, it's like eating a Whopper. Like if you ever had a Whopper before, very airy, but it's a Skittle. Like you don't get like it's not chewy, which is one of the, I guess like it's one of the freeze-dried part. But those.
Nah, these are probably the best. I would say.
Those are definitely the best. The orange creamsicle.
Creamsicle, you can't really mess that up. I feel like.
No.
Those always hit. Those always.
Well, yeah, that was fun. So check out Freeze Dried Ohio. They're here in Tiffin, Ohio. They have really cool stuff like this. I mean, those were good. Like I could actually buy those and eat those.
Oh, most definitely.
Every single day of the week.
Most definitely.
So yeah, I was saying thank you for that, Freeze Dried Ohio. All right, and now what me and Easton are gonna do is we're gonna run through some of your highlights. So
okay.
I could have went through a lot of the footage and grabbed because I've been to every game. I've seen every Easton St. Clair interception. But obviously it had been hard to find all of that footage. So we're gonna look through 2 highlights and we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna analyze them.
Sounds good.
And then I'll have you guys can watch it on the screen while it's playing while me and Easton watch it. So here's the first one. This is
strong safety there to follow him because Wurzer was looking for him strong while he's running outside.
Yeah, it looks like Wurzer doesn't have time to go to that second and third read. That pressure's getting there so quickly for Heidelberg. 2nd and 10, ball at the Adrian College 16. 3:01 to go in the first quarter. Heidelberg walks up to the line of scrimmage. They rush 5. Wurzer quickly to the edge. It's intercepted. Picked at the 19. He'll run it in for the score. Touchdown. Student Princess making that reception. Easton St. Clair. He's in.
Now walk me through that play. Like, do you remember that play?
Yes.
Okay. Walk me through it.
First, that was against Adrian, and they're a school in Michigan, if you don't know. So it was kind of like a coming back game to Michigan. So I felt like I had to show out. But Yeah, that play specifically, I saw it on film.
Mm-hmm.
And every team they play, they don't really have somebody covering that guy, walk down. So he just threw it blindly. Like, he just didn't look. He just threw it. So I knew, like, as soon as they lined up in that, he's going to throw it. So I just kind of jumped the route, and it was like, I almost dropped it because freshman year I dropped the pick.
Okay.
I almost dropped it, but I caught it, and I was just like, all right, just don't get caught. Don't get caught. I didn't even know where anybody was at.
Right.
I just kind of zoned out. I somehow scored, and it was just it was a crazy feeling.
So, like, the feel. I mean, I have never worn a helmet, pads, like all this, all that. Like it's like boom.
Yeah.
How quick did all that happen?
Oh,
like,
so
he threw
fast.
the ball, picked it, touchdown.
So fast. I saw the ball, and next thing I knew, the ball was in my hands. Next thing I knew, I looked up, and I was in the end zone, and like my head just went blank. Like
And how did your team celebrate that?
Oh, it was crazy. I don't know if you could tell from there, but Coach Hump jumped like 3 feet in the air. Everybody was going crazy, and I had friends that came down to that game. Mm-hmm. They were on the hill. They ran down and celebrated with me. So
was your family there too?
Yeah, my family was there.
I bet
uncle,
they were freaking out.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience.
That's like a homecoming for you.
It was really like all my friends from high school came for the most part, and it was just. Yeah,
that was a great game in general. But like I remember watching that. We weren't actually at the game. We were here, and I think you guys scored like 2 touchdowns first before that. Mm-hmm. So that would have made your 20th.
Yep.
So yeah, that was crazy. We're like, man, we're killing these guys.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
It's always fun like watching someone get an interception, but a pick six is always better. So on to pick six, we're gonna go to the next highlight, which was actually just about a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago, but here we go. We're going to run through this. You guys can watch it on the screen here.
Shotgun formation. 3 receivers bunched on the right side. 1 receiver by himself on the left side. Looking over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off.
What a play. Wow. Who is that?
Number 21 on the interception. Easton St. Clair. He's going to take it. He's looking to go all the way.
And he's
St. Clair all the way. Touchdown, Heidelberg.
What a play.
I would show the rest of the highlight. You literally get tackled by your teammates on this, like on the track.
On the track, yeah.
So I'm going to tell you about my perspective from this because I think this is probably one of the funniest perspectives that you could ever have on football. So I was working 50-50 that night, and I was like getting done. 2 minutes left. We're killing this team. All right. I was like, I'm going to go back to my room. Like, I got to go back. Like, these guys are going to win. And my girlfriend, Emma, you know her. Mm-hmm. So she's like, let's watch one more play. I'm like, let's watch one more play. That's fine. We literally, standing next to your dad, by the way.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, your dad was freaking out. I think, it was your dad. Your dad always sits, like, in the top, like, if you're looking at the field, top left.
Yeah.
So I was standing by your dad. And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. Throws it, you pick it. Oh, my, dude, everyone's going nuts. I'm like, that's Easton. Like, I don't even need to know the number. Like, I knew it was Easton. And I was like, all right. Like, and then we're like, oh my god, like go. Like it looks like you're about to get tackled like 2 times, and then dude, you made it. And it was like, dude, everyone's freaking out. So yeah, run me. Forget my point of view. Like I want to hear your point of view.
Yeah, that one was crazy. That was a crazy one. 88.
88.
That was the longest touchdown of my life. Well, actually, the first pick six was my first pick six ever in my life. So
gotcha.
That was crazy. Crazy. But this one was crazy because it was like a quarterback spy. So I was just really watching the quarterback. And I saw it, and I just jumped up, and I caught it, and I was like, just go. Like I just saw a whole field, and I felt like a kid again because like playing tag.
Right.
And it's just don't get caught. Just because I got caught a couple of times last year by the quarterback. I'm like, if I get tackled again, I'm not gonna hear the end of it. So I was like, just don't get caught. I was tired. It was a long drive. As soon as I caught it, I was gassed. I was just push yourself, just go. And then I made it. I took like 4 steps to the fence, high-fived. After that, I was like, all right, I can't breathe. I was gassed. I couldn't walk. I could barely stand. So that's why I had to lay down on the track. It was a crazy experience. It was.
I mean, you almost got tackled and you didn't get.
Yeah,
tackled.
it was.
Like, run me through that. Like you got tripped up. And then a couple people made a block. There was a guy that tried to trip you, and there was a guy that came like to your side, and you kind of just like ran diagonally on him.
So I cut it back, and I saw the quarterback run after me. I was like, okay, it looked like I was gonna outrun him.
Yeah.
So he dove. So I had to like stiff arm his head, and I get my legs up. And I was like, all right, I got past him. I was running. Shout out Keyshawn Cunningham because he came from the opposite side of the field, hawked me down and threw a block for me. So I appreciate you, my boy. But yeah, he blocked him. I was able to sidestep him, and then the last guy, I peeped him like just as he was coming in, so I was able to swim past him, and it was just like I didn't even know if I was even gonna make it,
Right.
but I ended up getting there, and it was just that was a crazy.
It was
crazy
definitely
experience.
a crazy moment, like in the being there at the stadium. I'm glad I didn't leave. So
No.
it was amazing to watch, and it was crazy to see like your dad and like a bunch of other like Lane Pickard's dad was there. Like,
Shout out Mr. Pickard.
They
He's the
were
man.
going crazy, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm so happy we got to watch that. And then like yeah, you were just like after that. So that's a question that I never asked anybody. So I'm so happy I just got reminded of this. They put like a thing on you.
Yeah.
Is that like to signal that you like got like a?
So that's the thing new this year. Coach Johnson's mom actually made it. It's called the wetsuit cape, or like the turnover cape.
Okay.
So every time you get a turnover, you get crowned with it, and
Okay,
you can
gotcha.
throw it down and hit a pose. So that's a really cool like team morale. It's just to have fun with
It's
it.
like how I forgot what college is, but they do like the turnover chain.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and then it's like I know you got up on like top of like the bench,
Yeah.
and like you got it on, and you were like this. And every like defensive person was below you. I saw someone going like this. I don't know if it was like Lane or Gavin Looney. But,
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I saw someone like praising it. It was so funny to watch. But that was also something that I found interesting. Was like the turnover cape. So hopefully you get another one of those.
Hopefully, I'm looking for it. I'm waiting.
And then let's see what else we got next. So we ran through your highlights. We ate the candy, and then I guess we're on our last question.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last question of the interview. If you had to give, I guess we'll make it 2 questions. First one, if you had to give advice to your younger self, your high school self, let's say your high school self, what advice would you have given younger Easton?
Really apply yourself in every aspect of your life.
Okay.
I feel like that's a big one because for me especially, like my focus is really football, and sometimes I'll be lacking in other aspects. So just really make sure you spread out your attention to everything and just enjoy your time. Just enjoy life.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can do. Stuff's going to happen. Stuff's going to go wrong. You're going to succeed. Just enjoy what it is.
Yeah.
Don't take anything for granted.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And then my other question was going to be, if you had to give advice to incoming freshmen coming to play football or whatever it may be, what would you give advice to freshmen?
Push through any adversity. You're never going to come in. You might come in and the senior's leaving, so the spot's open for you to take, or you come in and you're behind a sophomore who's been playing the whole time. So it's just, you never know what's going to happen. Injuries, people leave. Just stick with it. Try to just enjoy it. Just enjoy what you have, and that's like, just enjoy it.
I guess
just
enjoy
it. That's all you can
I would
do.
say the same thing. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I love what you said about like the younger self. Like apply yourself to everything, because like if you get focused on one thing, you might fall a little short. Something else, and that's a great quote or quota to live by, I guess.
Yep.
So, guys, this was the first Birdcast of the year. Easton St. Clair, everybody, thank you for coming on. Easton, if you have any thank yous, if you have anyone you'd like to thank, this is your time now.
Yeah, I thank you for my family, for everything you do for me. My uncle Chip, Uncle Mike, always supportive. Thank you for all my friends I made here, friends back home. And just go Berg.